couple promo demonstrations for the other sites real quick. I'm back in. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens, which stands for Infusion Light Energy Gain. The screen we're on today is our portable projection screen, which is theater on the go and gaming on the go portable screens, which we're going to have in sizes of 40 inches, which we have right now, and sizes of 60 inches, which we'll be showing it off shortly. This is a screen that's going to allow you to go anywhere you need to go. That can operate at 50 to 300 lumens. Now you can't do these the same way you do the other screens that can register outside at 9 o'clock in the morning and so forth. These do have an hour when they activate, but I guarantee you it won't be in the time zone or hour zone that you're working with white screens. Completely different technology. And these screens used to be white, now they're converted over to our new technology. So this will allow you to be able to have an outstanding picture, amazing contrast, color, no calibrating, no dark environments. And again, the projectors that we use in our demonstrations are under $200. As a matter of fact, the Epson PowerLight S6 projector cost me roughly $16.25. That's it. As you can see, we're in a fully lit environment. If I can back this up a little bit here, I guess right there, we're in a fully lit environment. The lighting we have over top of us is around 24,000 lumens, not 2,400, 24,000. That's a lot of light in here, right? I freaking like it that way. It's the best way to do it. Now, why is a gray screen a waste of time and money? Well, they don't work. We've had gray screen paints here. We've had tested, certified gray screens and everything else, and they just don't work. They don't give you exactly what they claim they want to give you. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your money. If you're buying a physical screen is going to cost you more money than a white screen. If it's gray, it's going to cost you an extra $50 or $100 and whatever it may cost you more, especially if it's name brand, because it's gray. They're going to say that's an advancement over white screen. Now, are gray screens better than white screens? Yes, they are. But is it much of an improvement next to the higher technology? No, it's nowhere near in the category for the higher technology, especially ours. All right. So in the demonstration, we're going to show you the gray screen and the white screen. This is what the screen used to be, that color right there, white. And you see big time improvement. And then you'll see how much of advancement the gray screen is going to give you next to our technology. So let's giddy up. Let me see. I'm going to go back here. Here we go. Now the whole purpose of this demonstration, I've shot a bunch of videos already to go upload those other sites, is to show you that the gray screen is not going to give you much of an advantage. It's not going to give you anything at all, period. Next to the white screen, you get a little bit, but next to our technology, we're the ones that give you the improvement over your white screen, not the gray screen. Gray screen's going to waste your time and money. Now keep in mind, in this demonstration, that black background must read black 100% at all times. And try to get you to not look at that much and concentrate more on the colors of the screen, which you're not reading correctly, but still to keep you away from that black area and here, because that pretty much shows the failure rate of the screen. Got to read both. And if you notice, we're not in a dark environment. For people who make great products and you want to start crying about, oh, the environment is way too much light. Stop calling yourself 2.0. You don't have a 2.0 if you're complaining about light. There's no way to walk. 2.0 sitting in a super dark environment. So you don't even have that. And we get that all the time. We get the rants about the rooms being too much light. Well, if you're going to compare your product to high-end screens that are able to support and be able to survive in much higher well-lit environments, then you should be able to do this. But you can't, because you lie in your demonstrations. You put on these fake little lights in the background and fake little lights underneath the cabinet system and darken the environment, and you stay close to ultra short those projectors because the distance throw doesn't deteriorate the image on the screen. You do all that. There's little tricks you got to do at the end of the day. We don't have to do that. You set it up, be done. That's it. That's what you're supposed to do. So really, you're not upgrading anything with a gray screen. That's why when I watch a demonstration called The Benefit of a Gray Screen versus White Screen, they turn the lights out. Why would you be turning the lights out? Why? Because the lights on the gray screen doesn't read the lights off either, but still has a better chance with those lights off. Now that video we have on the blacklist. The maker of the product we have here which we call the Refusal Metallica Mix 2.0. This is the real one, not the fake one. This one actually has mica in it, silver mica. We call this the Refusal, and how we got the name Refusal, you see my cat sitting back and forth. How we got the name the Refusal is because we sent his paint right back to him, and he sent it right back to us. Keep in mind, we have YouTube videos showing exactly how we made the paint exactly the same way from his tutorial video showing you how to make the product for free. Now, for those of you who are baffled about, well, why would he make a product for free and then sell it? Because before he was actually selling products, he was actually giving away for free. That's why. That's why the video's there. I had to clear it up in a couple of rooms one time. They're like, what in the world? Like, who would do that? Who shows you how to make their product? And then after that, out of nowhere, just come up and just say, hey, I'm selling it now. He did. Because he gave away, like I said, when he first started off, he was going in and he was making friends with a lot of the YouTubers that made a lot of great paints. He ripped them off. He took their products. And he got enough of them. Then he started saying, I'm gonna start selling them now. So he took their products and he stole their stuff and started selling their products. So stuff you're seeing is from other YouTubers. But where he made his mistake was these videos he had running around for free. He thought he got all of them, but one of them he didn't get. Somebody got one and he sent it to us and said, hey, you ever seen this before? And I was like, whoa, what the heck? And he said, yeah, this is his real paint. That's how his paint's made. So we gave him a black and white challenge. We said, hey, look, do me a favor. Take the paint here in this video and put it against your product on a live stream and show us the demonstration. And he refused it for about 3-4 years. So what makes that paint so special? That's the paint we sent to him. The exact same thing with an upgrade version, which is the real Metallica, because it has actual Metallica in it. And he refused it, sent it back to us. So you can't say that, well, somebody else did it. No. There was a restriction put on that. We put a special restriction on that. Only he would have authorization to do so. No one else can do it but him. So it was confirmed he was the person that sent it back. He's the only one who can do it. So that paint right there is why we call it the Refusal. And as you can see, coming from the horse's mouth, from over there, not wanting it, it doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. So the contrast that was failing, that's why it's a waste of your time to paint your screen in gray. Or even have a gray physical screen at that. Not just paint, at the end of the day, to have a gray screen, period. It's a fail. Starfield screensaver. Try that one again. Starfield screensaver. There we go. Now, one of the things I find interesting that when I see people talk about their gray screen paint products, this is one of the tests they will skip altogether. They'll skip this one completely. You're supposed to show these off in fully lit environments. If you're claiming that your gray paint does the same thing as other high-grade screens, then this is one of the demonstrations you need to show off. You know what demonstration I show off a lot? White levels. I do them all the time against different forms of black on black paints and fabrics and films. I do this against micro mesh. I've done this against everything you can possibly think of. On top of that, not only do I get it doing against other paints, I've made 3. You ever seen those black versus black demonstrations? We made 3 individual black paints to show that even if you try to duplicate or stuff, it wouldn't work. We did those tests already. That's why I told people at the end of the day, go ahead, try to make our stuff. because even we couldn't duplicate a very high-end version of it. It wouldn't match our stuff. Because it requires key ingredients. Also, those videos we use against you in court, just so you know. But anyway, so that's why you have to do those. You have to do something that your screen does not have the capability. Hey, hey, hey! I'm watching you. Move it. Get from my way from that camera. Go sit down. I don't want to hear it. I already know. See, you slick. Go sit down. I have no idea how people don't have control over a cat at the end of the day. It's an animal. You can train anything with a brain. Ain't that right, Taco? This guy's scared of trouble, right? Incorporate your fish. Got a dozen toys in here to play with. Anyway, as I said before, is you want to keep up with the high-end screens, and you're going to lie to your customers and tell them that you can do all these things when technically you can't. Like the customer who opened up 2 windows. Everybody watched his body language, and no way, in any way whatsoever, did he say anything in that video. And I got friends of mine who speak Spanish and everything else. Nothing he said in that video was against him. He literally thought he could actually open up the windows and see this. Now, in order for him to get that in his head, someone had to put it there. Which means to get his money out of his pocket into yours, you lied to him. And that's one of the things I don't like about great screens. Great screens do a lot of fake demonstrations. You'll make all these claims that you're just as good as the high-end screens, and you're not. Your budget screens, that's what you're considered to be now. Now, if this was way back in the day, before any of this technology ever existed, then yes, you would be the #1 screen, but you're not anymore. The gunmetal kind of took that away from you. When the gunmetal screens came out, they were much more advanced screens. They pull better contrast. They can pick up in better well-lit environments. Their colors were more on point. But they're very expensive. That's the only problem. So people are still stuck with the gray screens, because the gray screens was better than going out and spending $7,000 for a screen if you didn't have the money. Now you got black technology, which would be us. We take out certified, we take out gray screens, we take out white screens, and just anything else we want. That's where we stand at the end of the day. And our technology at the end of the day costs more than great paint because we're better than great paint. Costs more than white paint because we're better than white paint. Costs more than, less than certified. The other way around. We're less than certified and we're better than certified. So we came and evened the playing field. But the gray screen started crying and whining. No, we're the same as the high-end screens. We're the same. But you're not. You failed in every single test we put you under. Every single one, including the one I'm doing right now. You're failing at it. On a $16.25 projector, you can't read. You're right up on top of the screen. Look how close the projector is to the screen. You still can't pick up. So that tells you right there that you have lied all the way through everything. This is where the next 2 months are going to be a nightmare for you, because we're going to be buying all your stuff up and testing you out there inside, outside. Go to your specification sheets, see if you do exactly what you claim you do. To upgrade my white projection screen to a gray screen is a waste of my time and money. I can't use that in here. How am I going to use that screen in here? How would it work? What about outside? How would it work outside? You don't see a lot of demonstrations on gray screens outside. You don't see a lot of them. You see most of them. We do see some there in dark at nighttime, because again, the white screen does the same thing. So you're not really showing me anything, worth my time. If you're in the same environment as the white screen, I'm in there already. Like, what the freak? I'm going to spend more money just to be in the same environment that I'm in right now? That's not an upgrade for me. That's a joke. You can pull slightly a little better color. That's it. And pretty much that's all you got. Because you're not pulling a white level higher than a white screen. That'll be their category. So that's no. And you can't pull contrast higher than the screen, because that's no. You don't actually see black. You do know. This is the part it's going to break some brains here. Okay. You do know when you claim to pull a contrast level over a white screen, you technically are not pulling black. You know that, right? So if you stated on your website or company and said that your gray product pulls a black level, you just lied. And we can get you on that, because your screens are actually black. So it means you'll be making a statement that you are us and you're not us at the end of the day. And that's the problem we have. This is why these lawsuits are going to be popping up at the end of the year toward companies that are making statements, because you can't make that statement. You don't see a black level. You see shades of gray. That's why we call it 50 Shades of Lies. So there's certain things you don't pick up and read that a black screen can do. Alright, well, with that being said on top of that, it is what it is. The gray screen just lies. It tells you you're going to do all the things, and it puts in its specification sheet, we saved you thousands. Okay, so what screen's going to cost you thousands of dollars? That'll be certified. The big boys will cost you thousands. How are you more advanced than a gunmetal screen? Because I've tested gunmetal against gray screen, and you're nowhere in the category of that technology. And if you say you are, then that company is going to sue you, and they're going to request your test, which you don't have any because you were just running your mouth gray screen. Now, keep in mind, for those who think this is about one person, no, it's about all gray screens. All of you, the whole group, the whole world together. It's all of you. If I paid a guy and took the time, I guarantee I can match most of your stuff to Home Depot. Benjamin Moore, I bet you. That's where your biggest nightmare is at. Your biggest nightmare is not me. Your biggest nightmare is not the certified. Your biggest nightmare is Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, all those companies will have great products in there, multiple layers of great products at that can easily match your stuff. I know I did to somebody on camera. We don't know who. Just pop the top and say, yep, this is going to match. And what did it do? It matched. Enough for him to delete the video off its account. But to say that your gray screens is an upgrade, no, it's a lie. Your gray screen next to a white screen, anything you choose, I mean, any gray paint, and I guarantee it has the same reaction. Same reaction. You make it sound like it's big science behind it. Like we got a gray screen, it pulls up better than the white screen. Of course it does. It's much darker than the white screen. As you can see, but you can see the contrast levels are still poor next to our technology. Now you sit next to one of ours, you'll see how poor your screen actually operates, how it's a waste of time. Contrast level in the gray screen picks up better than the white screen. Look at the next to our technology. Doesn't read at all. And that's the part you're going to have to be to conquer. So that contrast level is extremely important. For us, it's white levels on our end, because we can read contrast any day. But we don't go out there saying that we pull 100% white level, because we know the laws of physics aren't going to allow us to do that. You have to have a sacrifice drop in there somewhere. Something's going to drop in there. So you guys are making that statement. You read 100% contrast, because you have to rely on inky, high-end, expensive projectors to fix that mess in dark environments, and you have to calibrate because your colors don't come out right. So it's not worth my time to paint that thing in gray, ever, or anything else we have in here. No, it's a waste of time. How would I be to sell this to people who come in here to look at this thing? How would I be to interview thing? We've got to keep them in the dark. We've got to spend more money. I've got to take more money out of my banking account to buy a more expensive projector to fix that mess. Preferring lean on ultra short throw projectors so I can be closer to the screen so I can have less deterioration to the surface. Spend money for high-end 4K projectors and bring up a higher resolution, more sharper image. That's what I would have to do, right? And God forbid, if one of my customers turns the lights on, gee whiz, I'm going to have to go in there and lie to them and say, hey, look, you're going to have to calibrate your machine because our colors don't work. Technically, what you're saying. Or lie and say, well, projector screens are not meant to be used in a fully lit environment, even though the person's running an ultra short throw. Yeah. Red screen. Ashy red. See the ash? There's your colors that you pick up. That's nice work upgrading your gray screen. And we've seen that ashy color. Where do we see that? Network Gray 773 versus, I hate to say it, buddy, but I can put your name in here. Jamie's Products. You saw it in the demonstration how ashy that screen came out. It was running a very high-powered P2 projector. And you saw in that demonstration how ashy it came out. Some people in the forum site caught that right from the door. They thought, wow, look how faded the screen looks on both screens. Both screens were faded and washed out. And he's using a high-powered machine, and he still couldn't get it to work. I don't know what's worse, the fact that they were both faded out and washed up badly. But we expected that from the house paint, yes, definitely. But this product claimed to be something better than what it was supposed to be. Even the contrast levels didn't pick up. He didn't show a lot of those, you notice that, right? He had no choice. When the LG logo popped up, he had no choice. And then when that screen blended in, right there, I'm pretty sure he had a small, mild heart attack. Yeah, that's what's happening when you talk a lot of trash beginning, and then it don't work out for you. Blue screen. So look at this. Which one of these screens? Oops, not you. We don't want you. I want the no ads. Where's my no ads? Here we go. Which one of these screens do you think you're going to have to calibrate? You're definitely going to the white screen. You're definitely going to the gray screen. So that ashy look color, that gray ash to it, this is why we laugh on cameras to put the lotion on the screen. There you go. That's why, because the screens come out dingy. Look at that. Look how dingy that screen comes out. Look at that. Look at that. How dingy they come out. They come out dingy. That's why we laugh and say, put the lotion on the screen. The screen needs some lotion. That's why we laugh about that over here, because the screens don't pick up. But they lie to you and tell you that it's going to read. It's not going to read. You'll be stuck in a dark environment. That's where you'll be sitting in some freaking back cave at the end of the day. And not even with the cool toys. Look at that. No difference. No difference whatsoever. You get mad when they put the lotion on the screen. I'll be in there crying. I'm picks up the phone. I got buddy puts phone. You can hear him laughing in the background talking about put the lotion on the screen. Yeah, because the screens are dull. You see the demonstration he did? And I don't know what kind of school it was, whatever, when he had the birds that popped on the screen. It was so washed out. And he had a nerve to be celebrating that. Talking about, wow, look how amazing the colors are. Dude, them birds like they were sick. Like they must have been sick. Because I have never seen birds that dull colored ever. They were so, colors were so dull. The Frankenstein mix. Sorry, buddy, I got to go in on you on this one a little bit. The Frankenstein mix. You said that was a final product, completely done. That was ambient light rejection technology. That's what you claimed to be. The reds were so washed out. Oh, the reds were horribly washed out. When I showed people that video, they were like, there's nobody's doing in there. I said, no, he doesn't know what he's doing in there. That was horrible. Absolutely horrible. For him, he's like everybody else. If they can see it, they consider that to be in a big advancement because we can see it. No, that's trash, man. That's look like your cell phone. See when I pull my cell phone up and I show the videos outside and inside and look exactly the same as a cell phone, that's what you have to be to show off. That's awful. Absolutely awful. Dark brown screen. See, these are screens they don't show you these, do they? They never show you these. These are dark colors. Do they ever show you dark colors in fully lit environments? No, they don't show you that at all. You know why? Because the screens don't pick up. That dark brown. That's why. You never see this in any other demonstrations, mark my word. Any gray screen, any white screen, when they're showing color levels, they'll pick the brightest colors ever. Hopefully they don't fade out much. That's what they'll do. And they'll darken that environment. When is the last time you ever seen dark colors being displayed on one of these screens? And this is a very important color. Dark colors show up everywhere. In gaming, movies, sports, everything. You're just going to skip contrast and dark colors. Just throw that out the window. And we're just going to stick to high white levels and color. That's not realistic. I'm pretty sure in that 1.7 billion colors that projector has, it has dark colors in there somewhere. I would think so. Let's go with dark blue. Dark blue screen. Get those dark colors in there. There we go. Nice dark blue. And to be playing a gray screen as an upgrade for your gaming screen? No, 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 no. That's where somebody has to come to the door, spray you in the face with the water bottle, and then smack you on the nose, man. Bad, bad. No, come on. Gamers, you should know better than that. You know darn well you don't game on no gray screen at the end of the day. You do know in gaming contrast is everything. You should know that. Any gamer should know that. If you're sitting there playing on I don't care what system, it could be Atari 20, whatever it is. If you're gaming on a gray screen, that is just no, stop it. Worst thing ever. I seen him playing Destiny. Good gracious. Do you see what Destiny looks like side by side at 300 lumens on one of our screens? Next to it had gray paint. It doesn't even pick up. It doesn't even pick up at all, period. It doesn't. The dark corridors you got to walk in. There's underground basements and all that stuff you got to walk in. There's bomb shelters, especially in dark areas. You play Call of Duty, night missions and all that stuff. Warhammer has a lot of dark, heavy levels to it. I'm not picking any of that up. And I'm watching him. He's a good gamer, by the way. I've watched him play Destiny. See, that's the difference between me and you, Fernando. I can give credit where credit is due. I'm not petty. I'm not a child like you. Haha. Did I just rhyme? I think I did. But anyway, so he's good. I watch him play the game. He's pretty good at the game. But you can see clearly in the game where that shadow gray just keeps popping up repeatedly over and over again because the screen is not picking up the contrast levels. And then he's in the dark. He's close up on top of the screen. No, man. No. It's coming up gray. It's coming up gray. Everything's coming up gray and ashy. Let me see. Contrast level test. Now, as I explained before, contrast demonstrations must be done in fully lit environments. I can't express that enough. Why must contrast always be done in fully lit environments? You, the customer, are going to turn your lights on. That's why. So which one you rather have it? You rather have it where they sit in the dark and talk about how great their contrasts are, and then you go home and you turn your lights on, you're going to find it either way. And I don't even know why they do that, because they know the customer's going to turn the lights on. I would. Even if you told me I can't do it, I'm still going to turn them on anyway and see what's going to happen. I'm curious. I paid for it. It's mine. Do whatever I want to do with it. Now, if you had tested your stuff and you put it within the guidelines of everything that your product is supposed to do, and the customer goes out those guidelines, you're not responsible for that, because you put down certain restrictions on how your stuff is supposed to be. But the problem with the gray screen is the gray screen lies and says it does all these things because it's in the dark and because it's using a high-powered projector and because it's calibrated. And then when the customer gets in and they use a projector that's not the one used in your demonstration, which chances are, which is a really high-powered machine, their projector is going to be far less. And they're going to get much of a lesser image. It's going to look the same way because you're using a high-end machine. Well, in our demonstrations, we use these cheap machines, and everybody else's machines are better than ours. Our customers, mind you, our customers' projectors are better than ours. And in all the demonstrations, the companies have better projectors than the customers. Because they spend money for high-end machines to fix the problem. Gray screen's not working too well, ain't you? Let's go get that 8K Desired Nature. 8K Desired Nature. You know, it's crazy. I just literally just watched it spell it out correctly. And then, and then go in and spell it the way that it thinks it should be spelled. Are you freaking kidding me on that one? Now, of course, we're going to go with the one with the black makeup, of course. Why not? Now, for those who are sit there and say, well, your projector, my projector needs what? Are you telling me to spend more money? Because you're telling me to spend more money, then you fail. Because you tell me to spend more money, then you tell your customers to spend more money. I got $16.25. That's all I'm spending. Your stuff has to work when it comes in here. I'm not dimming those lights over top. I'm not calibrating. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not changing settings. I'm not doing any of that. Hey. I'm watching you. All right, come on, Mr. Man. Come on. Yeah. I see you already getting in trouble. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Don't sit there and talk. Come on now. Behave. No, I don't trust you there. Come on. Let's go. Come on. I don't trust you there. Come on. In your room. Let's go inside. I don't trust you there. I know you. to give them the benefit of the doubt and you won't take it. See what I mean? You're sneaky like little kids. Let me go back and change this. He sat right there. I knew what he was going to do because he does it every time on camera like clockwork. So for those of you who don't know, Taco's gotten a habit of cleaning his kibbles and bits on camera. We don't know where he started the weirdo stuff at, but that's where he starts. So now he just stays in the bunker for I finish my videos. He was sitting over there. He was doing quite well, but he decided to sneak off, which usually most kids do when they're about to get trying to get in some trouble. They're little kids at the end of the day. But as you can see, contrast level is not there. For interrupted by Mr. Taco. So what are you going to advise me to do to fix this mess on your gray screen? Mind you, the screen came in white when we first got it, right? This is our upgrade to the screen. This is what we do to white screens. This is the gray screen. This is what you do to white screens. So how are we fixing this mess? Because I got this ashy gray on my screen. It's not picking up correctly. What are you going to suggest me do? You're going to suggest me go buy a projector with a higher contrast level, and it's going to cost me more money. Or you're going to suggest me calibrate, and it's going to cost me more time on the time I've already spent painting in your screen or buying a gray screen. By the way, I'm not a happy camper. If you ask me to up my lumen count, well, that's just not going to help anything at all. So I'm just introducing more light to the screen. That's not going to work. So, where is the upgrade? Now, anyone else who has a gray screen, whether it be a company or whatever you may be at the end of the day, I say this in every video, if you feel that the demonstrations I do here are completely false, that's walking into a courtroom. Choose right. If you're making claims that you're pulling 100% contrast over a screen that's 1% black, you got a lot of problems on your hands, and then the courtroom, there's something you're not going to win. You don't see a black level. You guys suffer from what they call delusion of grandeur. That's when you believe in something so much that you actually think it's true. So it's not worth your time to paint your screen in with a gray paint at all. Upgrade that white surface. Gray is the last thing you want to use. And like I said, back in the day, it did what it was supposed to do. It did. Things change now. They have much darker technology. And you're not ambient rejection technology in any way whatsoever, so don't say that, please. See? Can't read the color, can't read the contrast, don't pick up anything. White screen's bad. As you can see, look at our upgrade next to a white screen. Look at our upgrade next to a gray screen. So if you already did paint your gray screen in with that stuff at the end of the day, you can paint right back over with our technology and get that. Look at that. Crazy. Look at the orange it picks up on. Look at it washes out here. Jawa. Jawa. What word when I say gee whiz? Gee whiz. Gee whiz is Jawa. Hey, Dad. You do? Question, how come I can't use a contrast level in your screen paint in a fully lit environment or projection screen? Shouldn't I be to do that? Aren't I supposed to be upgrading? Look at it. I saw that in the demonstration he did. The benefits of a white screen versus a gray. He turned the lights out in that video. I was like, what in the world? So where's my benefits? I want to use this in a fully lit environment. How's that working if I got to be in the dark with the white screen? The white screen's in the dark. I don't want to be in the dark with the white screen. I'm trying to get out of the dark. It's not helping me. See the ash coming up? That's the ash. I want to say it's so bad about putting lotion on the screen. Ah, I'm so glad I don't work with gray paints anymore. You want to see anybody here, people? This is what I saw. Similar. Black Diamond wasn't black, by the way, but it did this to my screen paints. Yep, just like this. That's how I realized that we got to upgrade to darker technology. Unlike you guys sat there and you depended on it and said, you know, we're good where we're at. Yeah, not good now, you're not. Because in the next 2 months, we're going to be testing all your stuff out, and that's not going to go well. I plan to see a lot of ruffle feathers. Now, as for the other guy, we don't have no interest in your stuff. We already have it already. We have the refusal. Refusal does all your products. And if you're talking about your darker mixes, I made those already. I can send that right up to your door and get it confirmed. As a matter of fact, any paint I want to confirm on, well, we don't need the rest of them. That does all your paints right there, so we're good on that. Because that's the theory I made. I made that theory. That free mix at the end of the day is all his paints. And I proved it by sending you a box to your front door and you sent it back to me, right? So that confirms that's what it is, right? All right, then we got all your paints right there. Now, as for the darker mixes, I'll make them too, and I'll send them right to your front door. I bet you send them back. And if you do, that confirms that that's your product too also. Now, if you sit there and say, well, I'll send what? I gave you permission online to make my product. Even requested black paint. You never gave me my black paint. What happened to that? And I also, too, on top of that, gave you permission to make my product twice, and you failed both attempts. I had to literally go ahead and make the product darker, a fake version of a product, and that failed too. So no, we passed that road already. Let's move on. Their products are house paint. And again, not worth the upgrade in any way whatsoever. Look at this. The refusal. Now he's over there probably ranting and carrying on and screaming, the usual stuff that he does. But I mean, who are you mad at more? Me or you? Because again, it's your stuff, you know. I mean, you can't go on camera and get mad and yell at everybody else and say it's everybody else's fault. It's your product. If anyone else would have did the same thing, they could have made your stuff and sent it to you. Hey, you just make it yourself. It's your video. How about you make it yourself and do the video? But you won't. We asked you that 4 years ago, so you wouldn't do it. So, cross that bridge already. This is just all his stuff right there. Now, if the other paints, I don't know. You may match them. They may match you. Who knows?
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit. And unlock upgraded stays. With the Chase Sapphire Resort. Make more if that's yours.
Sorry. Scott 1000 toilet paper hot.
I don't get that part. About flushing paper towels. Was that always an issue? Because I don't remember it ever being an issue when I was a kid. When you're older, things are different. We didn't have all that biodegradable toilet paper that broke up like that. That didn't exist when I was a kid. Maybe the septic tanks were just much better than what they were back then. I don't know. But I've never heard of that ever. I've never heard my parents ever telling me you can't flush paper towels down the toilet. I've never heard that. Ugh. I need to look that up. See, this is why I'm a research junkie, because I always look up stuff like this, crazy stuff like that. You know? They had the same issue back when I was a kid. Maybe they didn't. Maybe I didn't know because I was a kid. But you see that ashy gray? That ashy color coming up? That's what you're getting from a gray screen when you upgrade. And I've seen this demonstration also too, done in a very dark environment with a high-end projector. Same demonstration. In a dark environment. Gray screens, you're about to come out in the light. You're about to be in an area you do not like. And if you do have made a statement on your site that your products work outside, then you're going to be outside with us. We don't operate 8, 9 o'clock where it's dark outside. We like to go out there where there's lots of light out there. That's where we play. Because again, you've been making these false accusations that your products do this stuff. It doesn't. I love the picture outside with all the light hitting the screen with the projector off, and then later on they showed the picture with the darker outside with the projector on. Now we're going to do it with the lights, the bright light, whatever. Outside, we do it outside. Could be worse, we can stick you in a halo system outside. That's an additional 12K of light nailing your screen with all that light out there. We're actually building a frame like that for fun, for our technology, just to play around outside. If we can absorb sunlight, we can kill 12K easily. That's nothing. That won't even affect the screen. But it's going to be a challenge. That screen we're building with the 12K around it, including being hit by sunlight at the same time, those are going to be our challenge demonstrations for everybody. I told you it was going to be pretty bad. I sat there and said on camera, I said, hey, look, when we go and do these challenges against this new technology outside, it is going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. But you guys should be ready for it. You know, you took the time, you tested your products out, you made sure you were telling the truth in your demonstrations. You have nothing to worry about, right? It's like having a surprise test, you know. People who study are going to pass, people who haven't won't. Now you see a lot of ash popping up because these demonstrations show darker and lighter and darker and lighter. So yeah, they'll ash up pretty good. Now the widescreen we expected to do so. But just saying how much of an improvement you're going to get if you paint your screen gray versus that white screen versus our technology. And you still got that action. Cinema bars are supposed to be in black, right? Screen turns gray anytime a black level shows up. This is a fail. Here, let me help you out with this one. Let's go with one that definitely does. We'll flash back and forth. LG Beta Fish. What did they give me? Something completely different. Yep. LG Beta Fish. Let me just say LG. What are you listening to? LG Beta Fish. Jeez. My goodness. We're speaking another language here. So again, here's your contrast. So as you can see with the gray screen, you're not getting an upgrade at all, period. And that's the most it's going to ever do with a white screen. Now, if the other one sits back and says, that's a lie, it's not true. Refusal, buddy. Refusal. It's your stuff, okay? Be done with it. Now, you can go up there and post pictures of my face, whatever you do at the end of the day. But we know that's just, that's you. That's what you do. You're a troll. You're a child at the end of the day. That's what kids do, and they get mad upset. That doesn't bother me none. You just expose yourself. By going out there and showing pictures of me and carrying on and calling it doesn't do any good. People see you for what you are now. You can't back your products up. You're just telling yourself, this package was at your front door. You should have took it. And if you had anyone left that basically supported you, they're not there anymore. And if they are, they're pretty stupid. Because that's how they're rated on everybody, on everywhere. You gotta be dumb to do business with this guy. This stuff does not work. You get no upgrade with that stuff at all, period. Like I said, it's the best screen paint we've ever got from. This is way worth every penny. The fact that the person who developed it sent it back to us. Now you sit there and say, well, that's Apple Bird. No. We did the demonstration live. Everybody saw me make the stuff right there. We used the video and everything, measuring spoons, the whole 9 yards. We even made an upgrade version, an actual real version of that product. So that's just when he starts complaining. Everybody else usually don't complain, they just accept it because it is what it is. But he's the one that'll get there and complain and scream and yell and carry on and act up. You know why they don't do what you do, Fernando? Because they're not trying to get sued, that's why. They don't go out there and flash my face and say nasty things because they're not trying to get sued. You, on the other hand, getting sued, so it doesn't make a difference. They won't even challenge me in court on it because they know they can't win. Because they know at the end of the day, what we're showing here is the true thing about a gray screen. It's not worth the upgrade. Because if you're going to go out and basically spend all that money for a projector, and you can't spend the money for a decent screen, you get what you paid for. They're trying to convince you that the gray screen is going to do all the things that the high-powered screens can do. That's a lie. As you can see, with the refusal 2.0. I think I just name it All Mix Refusal 2.0 because it's always screen paints. It is. We did these tests already years ago. That's how we found out. I was sitting there and I saw that video pop up. I was like, I wonder, because I paid for this stuff. I went over and did that demonstration. Like, oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. This stuff is all the same stuff. It's on the off-white shade. That's basically about it. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. That's okay. I give people the chance to back themselves up. So that's why we put out the black and white paint challenge. We sent it back over to him and said, hey, do me a favor, can you do this on live stream so we can see what's going on here? And he refused their emails. Didn't respond back to me. So it's the best way to do it. Send it right to his front door. Now, again, if any of his products could beat that paint, he would have done the demonstration, but he didn't. You know what does he do? He gets on camera and he rants and screams and yells at everybody. That's what he does. He's been doing it for years. Caught it with you, didn't it? Yeah, yes, it did. Caught it with you. So imagine all those people that he lied to on camera and told them they were getting something special. How much money it cost me to make that paint? It's like roughly around like under $15. All those people spent 60, 80, 90 bucks for that product. And he got on camera every day and lied to his own customer fan base and ripped every single person off. They could have made that stuff themselves. The person who was claiming that everybody else was scammers was the biggest scammer on YouTube. That's why they're launching all kinds of investigations on his company, because he ran a scam, a big scam too. He ripped a lot of people off. And that refusal right there is going to be used against him in court. He can back his own product up. That's pretty bad. You can't back your own product up, and you're being accused of your products match, all your paints matching together, and you can't back that up. That does not look good for you at all. That means you ripped off a lot of people. You ripped off churches, schools, everybody and anybody. You ripped them off. That's why, at the end of the day, it's a waste of your time and money. Now, can I say the other paints are rip-offs? If they're saying things they're not supposed to be saying they are, if they're sitting there saying that their products are equal to black screens and putting up 100% contrast levels and all this stuff they're saying at the end of the day, high quality colors and no calibrate and all that stuff. They're putting stuff in there. You know what you should be putting in there? There, you're ripping people off then. You're not telling the truth. So if I buy your product, your stuff should operate in my environment with no problem whatsoever. I should get every contrast, color, the whole 9 yards, no fade out, no wash out, no ashy look to it when I get it over here, right? I shouldn't have that problem right there. Now, if you're saying get spare contrast and the color level, meaning calibrate, and all, then you're telling the truth. You should be honest about it.
In a world where you've constantly been told what you can't do, who will you choose to be when presented with something different? Ask your healthcare provider what could be.
The colors don't even read on this thing. There's another one. See, this one done in the dark too. Another one in the dark. Now, other gray screens, if you can campaign it out there by saying at the end of the day that our products come up too dark, and you're saying next to your product unwatchable, we'll see you in court, just so you know that. So I suggest if you have those videos, pull them. If you don't, if you find them, see you in court. Don't get mad and make accusations because you're angry and upset. That's the problem. People get mad, they get angry, they get upset, they make these accusations because they try to hurt a company. You know, we will hurt you big time in the courtroom because you have to back that up. If a lawsuit comes your way, you have to back that up. So, we advise you don't make those statements at all, period. You know how the rules work in life. So, can I make the statement about your product? Yeah, I can. And if a judge ever asks me, what is my field in gray screen paint? What do I know about it? I go a mile long, longer than you. I've made more products than you've ever made in great products. I guarantee you, trust me, go back and check my archives. So I have experience in that field, a lot of it. I made them just for every level you could possibly think of. I know for a fact that when I bought that black diamond sheet in there, there's no way in the world my screen could ever match that technology. Now, oh heck yeah, we can take black diamond easy. But back then, no. That darker technology, way more advanced. But you want people to believe that your stuff does the same thing as everybody else does, and they're saving all this money. And technically they're not saving any money at all. They're just getting ripped off. So what did I pay for? What did I get at the end of the day? You know, if you match that stuff at the end of the day, we bring you over here and you match that house paint over here, your stuff is worth under $15. In fact, he's trying to get $60, $65, or I don't know what he's trying to do. He's probably taking invoices, he's doing something. But whatever he's doing, it's not worth the money. If $15 would have cost us to make that, and that's with the mica. Mine, in the demonstration he used quartz. Quartz would cost you usually $20 a piece. That's $40 right there. But the way we made it, it only cost us $15 because our black was only $1.25. We got hobby paint, and that right there is hobby paint too. The white paint is hobby paint too. That cost us $11. So altogether, you know, that mica in there, about 1 ounce of mica, yeah, it costs as much to put the whole thing together. So what he refused, not only did he refuse his own product, but he refused a product that was made cheaper than the product he used in the demonstration, had the same reaction, same results. So that pretty much shuts that down. So if you get your gray screen over here, and we start doing a test on it, and we show fully lit environment, which you should be able to operate in a fully lit environment if you're making statements. If your stuff has these high gain capabilities on them, right? You should be able to operate. We're operating here, and you should be able to pull your color level test, white level test, and most importantly, contrast test is one of the things you're going to have to pass. And you'll do this at 300 lumens, you'll do it at 50 lumens, you'll do it at 1600 lumens, you'll do it at 1000 lumens. All the projectors we have, you'll run off of it. And you'll be at 24,000. Some of you may have halos. I'm going to put the halo system, I'm going to build the halo system. You should be able to absorb that too. And that light right over there, it generates a ton of light. You'll have to take on that too. And then we're lying against certified, because you say you're equal to certified. If you say you're equal to certified, I got certifieds coming in for you to test against that. We do certifieds all the time. Worse upon worse. I mean, at least we're not doing it against an apple barrel or micro, slip silver or any one of them, because you match any of that stuff and your price, whoop, goes right down the drain. But if you match that stuff, your stuff goes down the drain, because that's a $15 paint. The reality, right, people? Yep. All these companies lying to you. The industry. Isn't it interesting? Lying to you for years and years and years and years. I'm gonna crack that thing wide open like a walnut. And it's funny how we just came here to even the playing field. Now we're coming here to basically to expose everything. So the way we feel at the end of the day, that you don't have ambient light rejection technology until you could fire up outside. That's how I feel it should be. That'll cut down on all that crap at the end of the day. All those fake curtains and wind blinds being shut halfway and on slant and lights all the environment. All ambient light rejection technology should be done outside. That way you got nowhere to hide. Can't do all that light dodging and all that nonsense when you got to be outside, right? I'm not saying direct sunlight, because you know you won't survive that. But you should be outside doing those demonstrations. That way you got nothing to hide your screen from. That floor standing screen, I would love to see one of those outside showing a Starfield demonstration. Reading it 100% black level. Because if you don't do the demonstration, we will. The new facility we're going to be setting up, we got a facility we're working on setting up for testing screens only. That's all it's designed to do. There's cameras wired through that whole entire thing, so people can watch everything we do. When we walk through that facility, it's to test your stuff in there. And it puts your stuff in normal environments, which you're supposed to be in anyway, not crazy stuff that we do at the end of the day. So your projectors, your screen will all be in those facilities for other people to test and see if you're really doing what you're actually doing. So now you got to start telling the truth. See? All gang up on me and tell me at the end of the day that I'm wrong, because I don't want to work with you at the end of the day and rip off customers. And now you got to deal with us. Oh well. Alright, people. I'm done here. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration on what you are really getting when it comes to a gray screen, claiming it's going to give you this upgrade over white screen, you're not getting anything at all. It's just going to be plunged right back into the same darkness of where that white screen came from, and you're going to be dealing with the same problems. You're not getting anything at all, period. And again, for those of you who feel they need to say, well, Mr. Bird is not fair, you should have a projector of what? Are you telling me I should spend more money than $16.25 on my projector? My screen doesn't seem to be having a problem with a $16.25 projector. So why would you advise me to spend more money? If I'm not having that problem, my customers won't be having that problem. I'm advise them to spend more money too to fix your screen. That sounds like your problem, not mine. If you're advising me to go calibrate and, you know, dark environments and all this other nonsense I got to go through, that sounds like your problem, not my problem. Mine's working perfectly fine on my projector. See if they need money. That's a big joke. That's a big joke of the day. How do they save you any money? You have to spend so much money to fix their mess. Literally. Some of y'all environments are so dark, I don't even know if you're in a room or not. You can't even see the baseboards, the walls, nothing. Everything is super dark. And then for people who are going to be in dark environments because you have dedicated theater rooms, again, our technology doesn't require for you to be in a dark room. But if you want to, at least you're seeing 100% black level, not some washed out gray level on a projector you just paid a ton of money for. So just go down and flush yourself a nice little cheap 720p projector and boom, you'll blow that thing up. On top of that, you're ceiling at the same time because you're not going to do that with the technology you have today. Can't do an infinity ceiling with gray paint, doesn't work. I get customers that'll come in, we'll have these conversations like, Mr. Bird, like you're right on point. Like people really think they're seeing a contrast level and they're not seeing anything. These are experts and people I talk to from time to time. And they really think they're seeing that contrast level. The industry has fooled them so badly that they really think that they're seeing a contrast level, and whatever the image pops up, they really think it's a good image and it's the worst image ever. It really is. Because the reason why, because you settle for less, because you believe at the end of the day that this is the way it has to be. That's what makes it sad. When you watch all these washed out, poorly looking images, and they still post these demonstrations because they say, well, I can still see it. To them, as long as they can see it, doesn't have to be the best image in the world, but as long as they can see it, they accept it, and that's sad. Especially on the money they pay for those machines. That's what you're supposed to be reading. I can go anywhere I want. Anywhere. Never worry about any contrast, washout, discoloration, none of that ever. At $16.25. At 600 by 800 SVGA. That's my projector right there, 720p. Worry about contrast levels to come on, we get a darkening environment. You ain't worry about that. No. Yeah, right. So the portable screens are going to be available soon. We've got a 65-inch I want to bring in here, code up 2. We're going to have these outside in different areas and show them off how amazing things are going to look outside. Absolutely incredible. And gray screen, you will be coming outside with us, by the way. We're going to be doing a splatter screen. Splatter screen is going to have one gray screen splatter on one side, and then we're going to have one with a white screen, you know, because it's one for the internet and one offline, you know, that works for the internet, right? To show you exactly what you're not getting. And our new line for the gray screen, we call it 50 Shades of Lies, the gray screen. Yeah, I know that you're to tolerate what they call it. Retaliation is to make statements about a price are not true. Careful, this will get you sued. Understand that. Because I will walk into a courtroom about it, okay? So just so you know that. Or we're sending out one of them nasty contracts that challenge you to go in court with us. Which means you'll be forced to go in when you don't want to go in. If you don't, process server will pop up at your front door and you'll be sued for 10 times more. Maybe some criminal charges will pop up for fraud. So I would suggest don't say anything you can't back up. especially if you don't have my products. I'm going to ask for my receipts. If you don't have my receipts, claiming you tested our stuff and your receipts, that's a fraud charge right there. We'll file right against you. So don't do that. Don't ever do that. Ever. Ever. Do you understand? We have to say that to the people who make the products. Because they do all kinds of stuff to try to figure out how to make our products look bad. Let me catch you and find out. Our letters are black. You know that? They're all in black. Everything. The envelopes, everything, all black. And when other things pop up in your mailbox, you're screwed on it at the end of the day. I mean, you got enough evidence to prosecute you in a courtroom. So if you see a black letter pop up, yeah, you freak out. Freak out as much as you want. Get your lawyer to contact us. I guarantee I'll get your lawyer to drop the case. Especially when you got demonstrations of me, you've lost your, your lawyer's gonna curse you out. You've lost your mind. This guy's walking all over the place with these projectors that are, he's gonna be fascinated by our technology. He'll probably buy one of our screens. Now, why would you be dumb enough to challenge this guy at the end of the day? There you go. That's what your lawyer's gonna tell you. Why would you be dumb enough to challenge us? If I can back this up in here and back this up outside, what do you think I'll do in a courtroom? I'll have a field day in there. I'll be dancing all around the screen. Oh my goodness, you're asking for it in there. I will clean your clock in a courtroom. Don't invite me into one of those places today. It's advertising for my company in the day. We don't even look at it as a loss. You just advertisement getting paid. Because we want to see the daylights out of you when you get out of there. And counter loss is going to hit you. So we're going to go in there, show off our technology, while we'll pass out our business, go ding, 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 have my card up there, make money at the same time, and use that video demonstration to make money off of it. And then turn around, go back to court, sue you for wasting my time, and then turn around and post your information, public domain everywhere. At the end of the day, what happened in that courtroom? You lost. You make money off of it at the end of the day. Yeah, they challenged it. We crushed them in court. We backed it up 100%. We use your court failure as advertisement for our technology and sue you at the same time. You know how bad that's going to be for you? Don't do that. Don't give me that opportunity. Never give me that opportunity. If your product doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's what it comes down to. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Accept it. Make it better. That's what you do. You don't go out and do dumb stuff to get yourself sued. Make it better. Work hard and make it better. If I come across somebody as a great paint and say they're saying everything is legit, I got no point to test that in the day because it says everything it's supposed to do. Well, I'm not going to sit there and say it doesn't. It's sitting there saying what it does. What it does is what it does. I can't argue with that. But if you're sitting there saying your screen is reading ultra high contrast levels and you're pulling up in these fully lit environments, I know that's fake. Come on now. I'm never going to challenge you. You need companies doing stuff like that. You're going to have so many knockoff projectors on the market, like Epson. I love Epson to death for what they did. Epson went in and challenged Valve. And those other projectors, all those influencers got on YouTube and talked about how it's such a great projector. It's VAKOY, what that projector is called. Talked all that trash about how great that projector was. And Valve sued the daylights out of them in the courtrooms. They couldn't back up their specifications because they were scam projectors. Now they're labeled as the #1 scam projector. But people went out there and made reviews on them and said they were good projectors. Not us. We said they were trash. But the other one did. He said it was a fantastic projector. It only works on a professional screen. Here's the thing, Skippy. What you don't know at the end of the day, let me educate you really quick. I've never seen any certified company, the big boys, ever use one of those knockoff projectors. Not one of them. You know why? Because those projectors don't function on their screens. Those cheap knockoff projectors don't function on high-grade screens. That's why the only screens you see on those projectors will be gray and white. That's it. That's the only screens you see them on. And they'll be in a dark environment when you do those demonstrations. Whenever you see one on a Black Diamond, or Elite Screens, DMP Supernova, Firehawk, any of them, you see them? No, they don't use those cheap projectors. They use high-end Sony, Optima, LG. They use those stuff at the end of the day and so forth. And if I miss anybody, you make good products. Optima, all of them. That's what they use. Don't touch those projectors because they're cheap projectors. That's why. Only knockoff paints and cheap paints can run on that stuff. Yep. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Bam! Loving my little screen over there. Isn't it beautiful? Look at with all that light in the environment on cheap little $16.25 projector. Looks absolutely amazing. Freaking love it. Freaking love it. I'm having fun, people. That's when I'm having fun. I'm done. I got my promo demonstrations are all done. I'm gonna shoot them up all over the place, all over YouTube and all my different forum sites. So we're gonna be popping it off everywhere. And just a wake-up call. Do not get caught up in the 50 lies. 50 shades of lies when it comes to the gray screen. Make sure if you're upgrading your screen on a serious note, you're going to spend time and money. This is the time you're going to take out of your day to paint your screen in. Whether it be large or small, it's still your time at the end of the day. It's still your money. Make sure you get what you paid for at the end of the day. The last you want to do is get something painted in, and now you're stuck in these restrictions because you painted this in, and you're not getting what your projector does anyway. The most out of that projector investment. That's your investment. I don't care if you spent $16 for it. I don't care if you spent $2 for it. It's still money at the end of the day. It's still investment. Investment doesn't mean that you spend a lot of money. It's money. Just money you put into something. That's an investment. And make sure you get what you paid for. The less headache you got to deal with, the better. You watch this paint this technology in over and over and over again. Just like that, over and over again. You shouldn't have to go through no complicated instructions and all that bull crap about leveling the paint and all. What the freak are we painting in at the end of the day? Leveling paint. Please stop that nonsense. They did that stuff way back in the day. I guess he went back and he copied off somebody's old specification sheet from 10 years ago. They used to talk that nonsense back in the day. Leveling the screen, leveling paint and all that. No, that's way back. It's old stuff. Oh my goodness. Might level on anything. How thick is your paint? Only time you would have to level something that your paint's coming out like cement. Then you would have to have a level process. But not something that's super thin. If this paint was water-like, like a skin-like coating, what the freak are you leveling? Anyone pick up on that? Because a bunch of people on that forum say picked up on that one. There you go. A bunch of mumbo jumbo. I like my little screen here. We got a 65-inch coming in. I think it's a 65 or 60-inch, whatever, coming in. But before we can actually sell this thing, I got to be out and about with it. Got to be in different places with it. So I'm going to pick up a Nintendo Switch 2 when they things come up. Until then, I'm going to get a RetroPie and hook it up there and do some gaming. Heavenly heat wave, tropical heat wave. Do 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 do. Oh, I need that. I need to invest in that. We'll get it for the warehouse. That beautiful, that image pops up. Look at that. We got the white levels, the colors, everything is just blended in quite nicely on our cheap projector. Yeah, I hope they fix this in the UK. I like shipping to the UK. I ship to the UK a lot, man. I'm going to basically see what's going on today. I'm going to pop over to the post office and see what's going on with that whole thing. Because, man, I'm going to get back there. I got people over in the UK I ship to. This is where we like to flex on. The flex! The flex, people. Look at the flex. You ready when we flex it. Like, I hate this guy when he flexes. Hey, it is what it is. We come out, we back it up, right? Come out and shoot with a gray screen, don't give you jack. White screen ain't working for you. And the wire technology is the best, and number one. Yeah. Remember I said to the other fellow, real quick, with the refusal. Remember I said be careful about things you say out of your mouth. Remember I made that statement to you before? You made this statement a while back saying that I'm the type of person that hides behind a gate. And the minute you open up the door, I'm like a little dog. I just wet myself and lick your hand. Do you remember you said that? How many times did they get you to back down? Got your canceled receipts, returned every dime back to my account. You lost every PayPal claim against me, and once you filed, you've lost those too. And I got you to send your own paint back to me. Now, who is the dog behind the fence when I open up the door and licks the hand? You are. Be careful about what you say out of your mouth. The very things you say out of your mouth will happen to you. Talk a lot of trash and get you to shut it down. That's the end of that. Made statements. This guy made statements about saying that, hey, we were going to go out of business, or websites were going to shut down. Yeah, it happened to him. Gotta be careful. Don't say things out of your mouth you can't back up. So what are you? What color's going on in here? What is this? Brown. No. That's freaking me out. I can't see those weird colors. Freaks me out, man. Freaks me out. Oh, we definitely want this one.
This is me. She wanted to take her brand nationwide.
Yeah, I thought you made that on camera one time. Made some dumb statement saying, oh, black levels over there.
We helped her make a splash.
Man, I talk a lot of stuff and I don't back it up. Man, I back it up on every level. And I showed you I backed it up. I got you guys to put my money back in my banking account. If that ain't backing it up, I don't know what is. And he sat there and made that statement on camera about how I refused an order. I'm like, oh, no, you did not do that. Give me my debit card. Yeah, I got you to drop your website. Got so many cancellations on him, it wasn't even funny. And we saw that first order pop up, I know he's hurt. Yeah, don't play with me. I'm not that person. Got you to cancel so bad he shut his website down. I got him to shut his website 8 times and shut his site down 8 times. I got to record this document. Yep. Got the wrong person. Those beautiful colors. I cannot wait to get this screen. I'm gonna do some game. That's the gaming paint on here too. We got to do some gaming on here. That's where the fun part comes in. Because I haven't done any gaming on the PC in a while. Man, why don't they paint all houses like this? This would be hot. Isn't that a beautiful neighborhood? You can paint all the houses in different colors. I'd be tangerine orange. Like my house would literally be neon tangerine orange. I would literally have to go to a custom paint shop to get the most orangiest orange you could find. Put some bright spotlights around it. Or extreme high neon yellow, like something super ultra bright that had these high powered lights around it. Man, when them things cut on, the whole block just, the whole section of the block just lights up like it's daytime. It'd be nighttime, and when my lights come on, it'd be daytime on one side of the street. I would literally have it that way. Like, dang, what the freak? That would be hilarious. See, that'd be a funny skit for SNL. That'd be funny as I know, just boof. Freaking the whole block on one side is daylight.
Peter Fraser used the smart buying tools from Amazon Business. And positively prosper.
Is this what yoga really looks like? You don't post for photos. You go.
I was gonna do that for my kitchen. I was gonna get a kitchen put in that everything was bright yellow. Everything in there is bright yellow. Everything, cabinets, everything, all bright yellow. And then put this like huge, massive, high power light right in the center of the freaking room. Which you wouldn't see it, but the light switch would be on the other side of the room. You had to walk over and turn it on. Like, you'd be in that sucker. Like, why? Why would you do this? Why wouldn't I not do this? It should be a joke kitchen. And then you're not going to run there. All very funny to do. But anyway, that's just me. But yeah, they should have houses in colors like that. That would be beautiful. You know how beautiful it would be? Of course, in the wintertime, it'd be kind of strange, though. But then they live in the islands anyway. They don't get snow, so you know, it kind of works out that way. Maybe look kind of crazy if it's in the wintertime. That would be pretty cool, though. White colors. Man, they tried to do that up in Philadelphia and Germantown Avenue. They basically try to color like all the houses and stuff, but they picked the most dullest colors. Brown is not the color you want to use, but orange and red. There's certain colors that just don't clash together. And orange, darker colors and lighter colors just don't play out well. And they didn't come out looking well at all, period. Look like that ugly brown sweater your mother makes you wear when you go to freaking church. With all the brown and gold. Oh my goodness, I had one of those too. I just thought about that. I had one of those sweaters. That was an ugly sweater, boy, I swear. Brown with orange stripes in it. I remember that thing too. And had little bits of green in it, in the brown. Oh, it was a nasty ugly sweater. And then I had a light blue one, 70s. So now you think about it, it was ugh. But I mean, back then it was like, I'm cool. And it had that light powder blue shirt that would pop over the top of it. Oh, man. Let's see if we can do real quick. We're just playing around here, having a little fun. You know, we just boot goofing. Just boot goofing. 3 easy payments, 100% options, just boot goofing. Just boot goofing. My last one. I'm having fun with this screen. I love it so much. Just boot goofing, people. 3 easy payments. 3 easy payments, just boot goofing. 1% options. I like that. Every time now I get white boots, I do that. I get a white Crocs. Just boot goofing. Boot goofing. Look at Man, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? On a 6, I can't believe I paid that much money for that projector. And it worked. I got it from the Goodwill. I got it from the Goodwill on eBay for $16.50, 25 cents. Man, it's not the cheapest projector. The cheapest projector I have right now is the Sony CX100. That projector cost me $10. So that's the cheapest one I had. So now I'm just trying to find projectors, like really cheap projectors. Wait, I can only spend over under $200 is all I can spend. That's my budget I have. Now, for some of you saying, oh, no, I didn't do that because I'm poor. I did that because I can do that on my technology. See, you don't know business at the end of the day. You go spend money for this high-power, expensive machine. That doesn't prove anything at all. At one point, you have to figure out what is really doing the demonstration, the projector or the screen. What I use is low-end projectors. When you use a high-end projector, how are you convincing your customers that that projector is going to be worth their time and money? What if they can't afford it? Then what? Then you get into the categories of the haves and have-nots. That's what you've done. So bottom line is, you are going to try to force your customer to spend all this money for a machine to get it to do something in a demonstration that they know their projectors won't be able to do because it's not that caliber of machine. So if I'm using an 8K projector in my demonstrations and my customers can't afford an 8K and they get something underneath that, they're not going to be able to achieve the same picture quality, which means the picture's going to downgrade for them. Where in our demonstrations, we use projectors that everybody's projectors are better than ours, and we can get that to work. We save our customers a ton of money where you cost your customers more money, and you're still stuck in a dark environment with that thing that they paid all that money for. So you actually put them in debt when we don't. So yeah, that's why I like to use cheaper projectors at the end of the day. So when we do these demonstrations, we just have to prove that our customers are not going to have to spend all this money. That's when we save the money. I've got that conversation so many times when I've had people come and check out the screen. People ask us questions like, what type of machines are we using? How much money did this cost us? And we're like, no, we paid like $16. We paid $10. We paid $20 for a projector. And it blows their mind that that's all they have to pay. Because they paid way more than that in their home setups. We know they paid that amount of money out. They paid a couple of $3,000 or $4,000 easy. And we're here with $16 projectors in environments that they can't even operate in, pulling images that they don't even see. There you go. That's how you sell a product. You don't want it to cost the customer more money. You want it to cost the customer less money. That the investment that they're sticking into your product is going to give them a fantastic improvement without it costing them more money. Nobody wants to hear more money tagged on to something they're already investing into. That's the last thing you want to hear. People hate that nonsense. I hate it. If I'm paying for something, this is supposed to be an upgrade, but in order to get that upgrade to function correctly, I got to pay more money into that upgrade that I just paid for. No, people don't want to go through that crap. I don't want to do it. Why can you just add all that in there to begin with? You're going to make me pay more money on an upgrade after paying for an upgrade? Yeah, there you go. So my goal for me, and my personal challenge, is to keep it under $200. So I save my customers thousands of dollars, including on the certified too, because we can take out certified screens with this technology. So I save the money on the screen, I save the money on the projector, and they still can do something far better than the certified and any other screen. Why? You cost your customers more money, and they have to calibrate that machine, and they have to be stuck in dark environments with it because the screen washes out regardless of the projector's contrast capabilities. You gave them more of a headache. You're just better off with the white screen. At the end of the day, to tell you the truth, honestly. I'm so glad we had this time together. Do. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tip your waiters on the way out. Hope you had a great time with us. I had a wonderful time. I got to go post my demonstrations and get ready, get all that stuff done. I got other sites I got to be at. But again, when you're tired of getting ripped off, when you're tired of not getting what you paid for at the end of the day, you come see us. And for any other screen out there in the market, if you feel at the end of the day that anything I said in this demonstration was a complete lie and inaccurate, we're walking into a courtroom. And I guarantee 100% I'll win. All right, with that being said, of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology, because again, without him, none of this stuff would ever be possible. Dead serious, like none of this stuff would ever be possible. I never went to school for chemistry ever. So all this comes from God. So hope you enjoyed. Gotta go. Thank you for your time, and God bless. I'm so glad we have this